Bobby C. out at the big ballpark in the Bronx. He may not play for the Mets anymore, but Travis d'Arnaud still knows how to hit in New York. The Tampa Bay Rays catcher tonight, 3 home runs and all 5 RBIs.
It was fun to be up 1-0. That was my first leadoff homer ever. You know, I just started hitting leadoff, and then that last at bat. I mean, Chapman's a really good pitcher. I got lucky and hit the ball in the barrel and put us in the lead, fortunately.
Well, when I saw him taking the off speed in the dirt and fouling off 100, I figured, I was like, I think he's locked in. And then when he threw curveball, slide, whatever you want to call it, on the corner, and he hit it, I was like, it could go, but I don't know. And then it went, and then everyone freaked out. And yeah, I mean, he was locked in. You could tell from the first at bat, second at bat.
Yeah, he was taking some really good pitches, you know, especially that last at bat against Chappie. Taking some sliders in the dirt, just really good takes, you know, and then just putting good swings on the ball.
Paxton was saying how you did a great job of laying off some of those pitches early in the game, and then also with Chapman, the sliders in the dirt, gave you credit for having a keen eye, and thought that contributed to you hitting the home runs tonight too.
Yeah, I think just the staying short approach helps me see the ball a little longer, so I don't have to cheat or anything. So like I said, Mottola has been a huge help for me, and I'll try to just keep it going as long as I can.
Ooh, Yankee killer. Mets fans have to be scratching their heads. d'Arnaud hit 3 home runs, including a startling 3-run shot with 2 outs in the 9th inning off Chapman, and the Rays overcame their Yankee Stadium woes to beat New York 5-4 on Monday night. But no worries. The Bronx Bombers responded on Tuesday night. Aaron Judge provided the fireworks with a blast in the 8th. Didi Gregorius added a grand slam, and all was back on track for the first-place Yankees, who wrapped their series with Tampa on Thursday. Up next, the Bombers welcome Colorado to the stadium this weekend. The Mets, meanwhile, continue their 4-game West Coast weekend swing in San Francisco. They'll be back in New York on Tuesday to host San Diego. Over in the NBA, the Thunder are starting over in an unprecedented way by sending Paul George to the LA Clippers and Russell Westbrook to the Houston Rockets. Oklahoma City is becoming the first team to ever trade 2 reigning All-NBA players in the same offseason. The Thunder are the first team in decades to trade even 2 reigning All-Stars in the same offseason. The sequence appears clear. George requested a trade. Oklahoma City granted it. With 1 star gone, the Thunder had less ability to win with Westbrook, so they dealt him 2. But if George didn't request a trade this summer, Westbrook might have been moved soon anyway, according to reports. End of an era in OKC. Chris Paul is making a stopover in Oklahoma City. The Rockets sent him there for George, but the competitive 34-year-old point guard doesn't want to be part of a long rebuilding project. He wants to be traded again before the season starts. Can you blame him? His preference? Miami, according to ESPN. There, CP3 would team up with Jimmy Butler. Miami is open to the idea, but was, hung up this entire time because of the discussion of draft picks. Brandon Clark made his mark in Las Vegas. The number 21 pick in June out of Gonzaga averaged 14.6 points, 8.6 rebounds, and 1.6 blocks per game in leading the Memphis Grizzlies to the championship game. And for all of that, he was named the Las Vegas Summer League Most Valuable Player. That award has been won by Damian Lillard, Blake Griffin, and John Wall, but also Josh Shelby and Glenn Rice Jr. Most winners of the award had good careers as role players: Randy Foye, Jared Bayless, etc. Clark added 15 points and 16 rebounds in the championship game, leading the Grizzlies past the Timberwolves 95-92. Memphis, not the Knicks, as Vegas projected, is your 2019 NBA Summer League champions. We can't even win the Summer League title. The WNBA has suspended the Los Angeles Sparks' Raquana Williams for 10 games as a result of a domestic violence incident involving her ex-girlfriend in December. In April, Williams was arrested on felony charges of burglary with assault or battery and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon without intent to kill stemming from the December incident. Police records show she struck her ex-girlfriend in the head and pulled her hair after she opened the front door of her house on December 6th. After a man at the home broke up the altercation, Williams reportedly went to her car and pulled out a gun, pointed it in the man's direction, and said, "You'll get all 18," before leaving the scene. Yikes. The criminal case is ongoing. Sad news in the world of boxing. Former U.S. World Champion Pernell "Sweet Pea" Whitaker has died after being hit by a vehicle in Virginia Beach, Virginia, according to police. He was only 55 years old. Whitaker was a world champion of 4 divisions: WBC lightweight, IBF lightweight welterweight, WBC welterweight, and WBA light middleweight. He retired in 2001 after compiling a 40-4-1 record, including 17 knockouts, and later worked as a trainer. A member of the International Boxing Hall of Fame, Whitaker was named Boxer of the Year by Ring Magazine in 1989. He also won an Olympic gold medal in 1984. Whitaker was pronounced dead at a Virginia Beach intersection on Sunday night after police were called to the scene of an incident, a police report said. The driver of the vehicle remained at the scene, and the incident is still under investigation. Dwight Gooden said he became hooked on cocaine during the Mets World Series championship season in 1986 and missed the team's victory parade as he sat in a drug dealer's apartment. The former Major League pitcher and always a good friend of our program was arrested last month on suspicion of possession of cocaine, according to a complaint. According to that complaint, the 54-year-old had 2 small plastic baggies containing suspected cocaine in his possession when he was stopped for a traffic violation on June 7th in New Jersey. He's also being charged with possession of drug paraphernalia and driving under the influence. A prosecutor's spokesman told the New York Post that Gooden had been pulled over for driving too slowly on a highway and for failing to maintain the lane. The 1985 Cy Young Award winner has struggled with drug and alcohol addiction over the years. He was suspended from baseball for part of the 1994 season and all of the 1995 season after testing positive for cocaine. He has been arrested several times and served jail time in 2006 for drug use. A court date in Gooden's case is scheduled for July 23rd. His attorney asked that the public reserve judgment on the case. On to better baseball news. Former Yankees closer Mariano Rivera will be inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame this weekend. He is the first unanimous selection to the Hall in baseball history. But first, Delta Airlines dedicated gate number 42 at JFK Airport to Rivera this past week. The gate was renamed the Mariano Rivera Gate, of course. Delta, the Yankees' official airline since 2008, is also dedicating a 757 aircraft to Rivera, which includes his Hall of Fame inscription. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list to talk Mo and one of the best Hall of Fame classes in quite some time. The first unanimous inductee in the history of the National Baseball Hall of Fame leads the class of 6 being enshrined this weekend in Cooperstown. The Hall has been inducting baseball's greatest since the eye-popping first class of Babe Ruth, Honus Wagner, Walter Johnson, Christy Mathewson, and Ty Cobb all the way back in 1936. But in his first year of eligibility, closer Mariano Rivera was the first to appear on every single baseball writer's ballot. Honestly, I can't see it any other way. For almost 2 decades, Metallica's Enter Sandman in the 9th inning at Yankee Stadium almost always meant one thing: the Bronx Bombers were about to ice the game. Rivera, the all-time saves leader, won 5 World Series with the Yankees over 19 years before retiring in 2013. He's a 13-time All-Star with a 2.21 ERA, all stats that brought the wiry son of a Panamanian fisherman to baseball immortality, largely thanks to his unhittable cutter. Rivera was even better in October, folks. We know this. The game's greatest closer pitched in 96 postseason games, saving 42 games. Of course he did, 42 games with a 0.70 earned run average. With Rivera, the closest thing to perfection. It's a curious case to rank this particular Hall of Fame class. Also being inducted Sunday at the Clark Sports Center are Lee Smith, Edgar Martinez, Roy Halladay posthumously, Harold Baines, and Mike Mussina. Rivera and Mussina were righty teammates on the Yankees after Moose came over from Baltimore. Over 18 seasons, the starter relied on precision off-season pitches to rack up 2,813 career strikeouts. He finished in the top 6 in Cy Young voting 9 times. Mussina, who was known for his even demeanor, tried to avoid hurt feelings in New York or Baltimore by opting for a blank hat on his plaque. Very classy. More than 50 Hall of Famers will be heading to upstate New York for the ceremony, but it carries some melancholy. Halladay, a two-time Cy Young Award winner who was one of the most dominant pitchers of his era, died in a plane crash in 2017. In 2010, he threw 2 no-hitters for the Phillies, a playoff no-no against the Reds, and a perfect game against Miami in May. He's also going in with a blank hat. Add in arguably the greatest DH of all time in Martinez and 2 of the game's most underrated players in Smith and Baines, and this one is one hall of a class. That's your sports. I'm Bobby C.